Tobit remained faithful to God despite Israel's idolatry. Good News Translation Bible, Tobit chapter 1 to chapter 14. New Catholic Bible Tobit chapter 1 verse 3 and Tobit chapter 2 verse 9 to 10. In a world full of distractions and temptations, staying faithful to God isn't always easy. Imagine living in a time when nearly everyone around you had turned away from God, yet one man remained strong. His name was Tobit. His story is one of faith, courage, and unwavering devotion. Let's dive into his inspiring journey. Tobit lived during a period when the nation of Israel had strayed far from righteousness. The people had turned away from God's commandments, embracing sinful practices and worshipping false idols. Despite the widespread moral decline and the pressure to conform, Tobit remained steadfast in his faith. He refused to compromise his devotion to God or follow the corrupt ways of those around him, choosing instead to uphold the principles of truth and righteousness. Despite the pressure to conform, Tobit chose to live righteously. He prayed faithfully, gave generously to the poor, and refused to compromise his values. Tobit's acts of faithfulness. One of the most remarkable demonstrations of Tobit's faith and courage was his unwavering commitment to burying the dead. During his time, the Assyrian rulers had strictly forbidden this practice, imposing severe punishments on those who defied their orders. Despite the risks, Tobit remained steadfast in his convictions, driven by his deep respect for God's commandments and his compassion for his fellow Israelites. He understood that providing a proper burial was not only an act of human decency but also a sacred duty in accordance with Jewish law. He secretly carried out this righteous act, ensuring that those who had lost their lives were treated with dignity. For this act of righteousness, Tobit faced serious consequences, losing his property and social status. Challenges faced by Tobit. As if his trials weren't enough, Tobit later became blind, an affliction that left him feeling hopeless and dependent on others. Even in his suffering, Tobit refused to curse God. Instead, he remained patient and trusted that God would one day restore him. God's response to Tobit's faith. God honored Tobit's unwavering faith. He sent the angel Raphael to guide Tobit's son, Tobias, on an extraordinary journey that would change their lives. The fish that Tobias caught was later used to heal Tobit's blindness. Through God's intervention, Tobit's sight was restored, and his family received blessings greater than they had imagined. Tobit's story reminds us that staying faithful to God isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. When life gets difficult, when others compromise their values, will you choose to remain faithful like Tobit? No matter what you face, remember, God sees your faithfulness, and He will reward you in His perfect time. Faithfulness leads to restoration and brings blessings. Trust in God. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring content.